A man seemingly left behind by the activity that defined him is suddenly called back into action to help a new generation excel at it. Is this the plot of Top Gun Maverick? Yes, but it's also the plot of F1. I'm Ronald Young Jr., and I'm leaving the theater. All right, this is Ronald, and I am leaving the theater after seeing F1. F1, written by Ehren Kruger, directed by Joseph Kosinski, starring Brad Pitt, Damson Idris, Kerry Condon, Tobias Menzies, Kim Bodnia, Javier Bardem, Shea, Whigham, and Joseph Balderrama. And as usual, for a complete cast listing, you can go to the link in our show notes. It's just me today. I was supposed to be here with Chioke I'anson, but he has kids, which is a responsibility that takes precedent. So this one's for you. This one's dedicated to the memory of Chioke I'anson. Not dead, just has kids, which obviously takes precedent over coming to see F1 with your friend. Hopefully he listens to the show. If he doesn't, he won't hear me dedicating this show to the memory of Chioke I'anson. I'm sure listeners are like, wait a minute, Ronald, why is this segment going so long? It's for him. It's because I don't think he listens to the show, but he wants to be on the show. So you got to listen to the show if you want to be on the show. Nobody tell him that this part exists. Make him find it himself. Anyways, F1. F1 is a racing movie about F1 racing, which I believe stands for Formula One racing. I don't know anything about F1. Yes, it's Formula One racing. I cannot go into the technicalities of how this racing is different from other racing. I just know that they are different cars, which means different regulations from, say, NASCAR or, I don't know, the Baja 1000, which is something that I only learned about while watching F1. This movie was made by Apple Films and Warner. It's distributed by Warner Brothers. And to be honest with you, based on what I just saw, Warner Brothers might have a second hit, actually even a third hit on its hands. I believe they also did the Minecraft movie. So with that, Sinners, and this, they've got some big films popping over the summer. This movie is good. It's a good movie. This is essentially, the story is that washed up race car driver Sonny Hayes, played by Brad Pitt, is brought by team manager Javier Bardem over to his F1 racing team in order to basically stave off a terrible end to the season. It was not looking good for them, and now he's bringing in Sonny Hayes in order to turn it around. The team already has a person on there named Josh Pierce, who's played by Damson Idris. So if you've seen the preview, you've seen the central tension of the film, which is, can these two people work together? It is a very, very simple plot. And to be honest with you, it was seeing those elements of the plot in the trailer that started to make me excited about this movie, because again, I don't care that much about racing. However, this movie, for those who are like, I don't care about racing, oh my God, if you like these people, if you're like, hey, I'm a Brad Pitt fan from early in the day, and oh my God, I love Damson Idris, and hey, I like Javier Bardem, this is good. This is better than Ford versus Ferrari. For all the dads out there that are like, oh man, I really like Ford versus Ferrari, this is a better movie. It's more high octane. It takes all of the parts that you loved about Top Gun Maverick, and it's obviously done by the same director. old man comes to play his old hobby with the new hotshots, and it takes him and it puts him on a racetrack. It just puts him on a racetrack. Brad Pitt does an excellent job of what he does best, which is being a little smug, a little smarmy, but also knows what he's talking about type thing. It's like the parts of Brad Pitt that I like watching the most. Him knowing just a little bit more than the other people, while also not being able to maybe perform the way that he used to in some cases. It's funny because in some aspects, I wonder if what's playing out on screen is also what's playing behind the scenes, which is that Brad Pitt is in a lot of ways passing the torch to a lot of younger actors. He is past his air quote prime. That's not to say he won't be in more movies. That's not to say he won't have a big role or every now and then as it comes up. But the idea of him being the go-to guy is just not necessarily the case anymore, as it is with a lot of our favorites that we grew up with. Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks, George Clooney, like all of these cats, we'll see them. We will continue to see them for the rest of our lives and for the rest of their lives, but we may not see them necessarily doing the big film that's in the middle of something. They may do the Oscar darling. They may do George Clooney just got off Broadway. Denzel Washington just got on Broadway. We may see them do that, but now we're getting to see them in the elder statesman role, which is, oh my God, it's so fun because these guys are great actors. So it's good to see him in this role. It's good to see him on screen. One of the things I like about this movie is the dialogue. The dialogue, it comes on pretty quickly. As soon as you see Javier Bardem and Brad Pitt talking early in the movie, they're going back and forth in this way that's like, oh, this movie's not going to be like, there are going to be heavy portions. There are going to be like kind of dramatized things and things that slow down a bit. But the dialogue is fast. It's punchy. It goes back and forth. There's a part where he shows up to meet the team, and there's probably about 5 to 6 people in the scene, and everyone's dropping these little roasts on each other. And it's like enough to make you be like, okay, I'm interested in what happens next. And of course, Brad Pitt kind of puts his money where his mouth is, and you have to watch him try to prove himself to these people who think that he's just a washed up loser. And of course, if there'd be no film if he actually was a washed up loser, if he had no actual talent, like there would be no film at all. So obviously, you're getting to see some of those parts of the film begin to shine. So you get to see those parts of the predictability that we like. Like we're like, oh, this thing's gonna happen, and then it's predictability, but in the form of familiarity. That, I mean, even knowing or feeling like I knew where this movie was going, it did not stop me from holding my breath a few times, sitting at the edge of my seat, pumping my fist when something went right. Like it was an exciting movie to watch. And to be honest with you, more than ever right now, a lot of people are always constantly trying to swing for the fences instead of just making a good movie. And when they swing for the fences, they're trying to swing for the fences in this like kind of Inception, M. Night Shyamalan way where it's like, oh man, it was mind blowing. You got to see it, the twisty turns and all that mystery, like that type of thing, instead of just making just a straight up good movie. And that's what this is. This movie, you sit down, you watch it, you'll probably watch it again at some point, and you'll probably watch it a third time. Then you'll be like, you know, I watched that again. I had a good time. Like, it was a lot of fun. And I think that's why I left this movie feeling ultimately very satisfied. It's not perfect. I mean, there's parts I felt like dragged a little bit. It's 2 hours and 36 minutes. I didn't really feel it, to be honest with you. I felt like it hastened along pretty well. I think generally it was going towards a fixed point, so at times it was like, well, I kind of know where this is going, but I think they hid their hand enough to make it pretty satisfying. Man, so what you're hearing right now is I'm talking myself back and forth out of a rating for this movie. And it's a very good movie. I know we're, okay, with all of that being said, I know we're sitting somewhere between 4 and 5. And typically, when I award a 5-star, y'all have heard me work this out. There's no doubt. Typically, I'm like, no, that's 5 stars. Like that. And when I figured out what a 5-star movie was, then I was able to give it out. I think this movie is a solid 4.5-star movie. I'm going to trim it down to 4.25. I don't want to be overzealous. So I'm going to call this a 4.25 movie. It's a very good movie. It's a movie you can take your probably entire family to see. Maybe not the kids. I don't know if they're going to be as interested in seeing them race around the cars unless they're interested in race cars. But it's a solid movie. It's just like if you want to go and be like, man, I want to have a good time. I want to sit on the edge of my seats. I want to be excited. I want to cry a little bit. I want to be upset. And man, Josh Pierce has this relationship with his mom that kept making me cry. So like just her presence being there and the way she looked, like she has these cheeks that reminds me of my mom. And so, yeah, good movie. Just a good movie. I'm happy. 4.25 I think is good. It's hard for me to pinpoint exactly why I'm not like 5-starring this, but I'm like, I remember how I felt when I left Sinners and I gave that 5 stars. And I'm thinking about the other 5-star movies I gave: Wild Robot, Godzilla -1. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give this 4.25, and I feel content with that for now. Stay tuned. Who knows? Maybe I'll call back in and update that rating. And with that, Leaving the Theater is a production of Oh It's Big Ron Studios. I mixed this episode, and I am behind on the vlog on Patreon, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't give, because this is still a labor of love. I still have to pay to park. I still have to travel to the movies. Sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I don't feel like going out. Today I settled into my seat and was like, you know what? I'm really happy to be at the movies right now. It feels really good. I love going to the movies, but sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I get depressed. Sometimes I don't know. I feel lonely, you know what I mean? So it takes a lot of effort sometimes to actually get out to the movies. So if that means something to you, if my labor is of value to you, if my labor is something that you're like, Ronald should be getting paid for, the best way you can help with that is by becoming a member of the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/leavingthetheater or go to the link in our show note. And I promise, if not by now, the vlog should be updated. But if it's not, just know that I'm still working hard. Don't get on there and be like, this guy and these vlogs, are they coming or not? They're coming. They're always going to come. They're just going to come at a slower pace than the show. The thing you should worry about is if the show is coming out every week, don't be so concerned about the vlog. You know what I mean? If the show stops coming out and you don't see no vlogs, somebody check on me. I'm not doing well. Show art by Heather Wilder. Theme music by the mysterious Breakmaster Cylinder. For more information about F1, check out our show notes. You can follow me on Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, Threads, or Letterboxd at Oh It's Big Ron. That's at OHITSBIGRON. You can find out more about this show and other Oh It's Big Ron Studio shows by following us on Instagram at Oh It's Big Ron Studios. Leaving the Theater will be back soon. Thanks for listening.